success and protection of our ACLC chairman, Archbishop Augustus Stallings, and our Pastor Rev. Zagery Oliver here in Washington D.C. We pray for his wife Fumi and daughter Brianna and all the blessed families who are connecting to our church. We pray that today more will join us, as we announced it yesterday, Sunday, that there will be our HoonDok always here. We need more than 40 participants to join us in this condition. And we pray for each other's success, whatever things that we do today. And we pray all of this in all our names and in my name, Athanasius Francis C. Catalan, blessed and family. Aju, aju, aju. Good morning. We're now here on page 587. The inevitable destiny of the blessed families. You may want to ask why you have to witness. You go up to the point of death and to suffer. It is because we are blessed in the fallen world, not in the place transcending the fallen environment. And we go to 588. When we accomplish a family level dominion, we find that Satan already has dominion over the tribe. When we accomplish the tribal dominion, we find that Satan has national dominion. When we accomplish the national dominion, we find that Satan already has worldwide dominion. Even though we are blessed in the satanic world, there is a great distance between the satanic dominion and our blessed families. The hills remain to be crossed. Each blessed family has tribal, ethnic, national, and worldwide hills to go over. You may misunderstand and think that the blessing is the end of suffering, but you didn't get the blessing out of this world. You didn't get any victory over the world, neither did the world invoke a blessing upon you. Instead, you are positioned as the Abel family under satanic dominion and Cain's dominion. From the external viewpoint, the Cain side world never blesses the Abel family. Rather, the satanic world surely persecutes the heavenly side. So in the process, you are to receive persecution. Father had the holy wedding in 1960, but the ceremony was not accomplished on the victorious and complete foundation of having won over Satan in the physical and spiritual world. Father's family inherited the same situation as Jesus and received the worst persecution on the national level. Therefore, even though the family started to form a tribe, nation, and world, they were destined to be persecuted by the satanic world. Inevitably, destiny of Father's family and your family is to overcome the world. How do you overcome the world? It should be accomplished not after death, but by going through the indemnity course in our lifetime. In the way of indemnity, a certain period, a condition, offering or conditional offering, and an Abel-type central figure representing Adam are needed. Father himself also definitely has to set up a certain condition in the indemnity period for world history. The condition is to leave a substantial result of loving and living for the nation and the entire world. That's why Father, in the position of Abel, has lived for the Cain side individual, tribe, nation, and world, even though they have severely persecuted him. Unless he survives the severe process and establishes a victorious foundation, Father cannot propagate the Abel-centered ideology to the satanic side, individual, family, tribe, nation, and world. Where should our families put their combined desire? They should put in a conviction to become the families who live for the sake of the nation and the world. And they should feel responsible as God's representatives to form God's nation and world. They should be able to pull all of their action together based upon such a mind. Even though your work on a smaller level in a limited environment, the question of whose orders you are following is very important. The conviction that you are receiving God's orders or the summons of the nation and the world is essential. You are working in the world's representative in that limited environment. You also work as the nation's representative in that limited environment. The same is true with your individual work. They are all the same, but the result differs depending upon the background of the orders. It seems as if there's no difference between your individual work and the work representing the world. If you are to work following the world's orders, you will belong to the world. If you work following the nation's orders, your work, done even in limited environment, can be contributed to the nation. Since history has looked for a man for 6,000 years, 6,000 years were added to you. So you are the man for whom history has been searching. Have you won over Satan? Have you won or haven't you? You are not qualified. You should make the standard or the national Satan and the world level Satan surrender. Who has done that? Father alone did, while all Korea opposed him. Always, who should go the same way Father goes. If Father goes east, you should go east. If Father goes west, south, or north, you should respectively follow the same way. Without having confidence to follow, you cannot get the glory of victory. So you should determine internally to return a grateful heart in front of Father and actualize it externally. It is no use if you don't express externally the internal determination. It is not right to go the providential way with just your mind. Action should follow mental desire. Inside and outside should be one. You should pray for this. When nursing your baby, ask yourself, do I love the nation more than this baby? And have I loved the nation more than I love my husband? Husbands also should ask themselves if they love the nation more than their wives and children. Otherwise, you cannot enter heaven. In order to set up a condition or a tradition, you should work for the nation and the world, attending your family. You should know these concepts very clearly. Even after eating, you should proceed saying, Father, I'll go forward for the Republic of Korea and the whole world. On the way, there will definitely be an enemy. How to get a natural surrender, not a forcible surrender, is the problem. It is easy. You may think destruction is simple and easy, but destruction doesn't solve the problem. The heavenly tactic is to be beaten first and to win victory later. That is the only way to solve the problem. That's why Father lets members suffer. My way is the one that 30 million Koreans have to follow. Humankind has to follow it. To do that, you should eat, live, and die for the sake of that way. Otherwise, you cannot lead a life of attendance for God's will. If there is an order to do that, you should go straight in the direction of the order. You shouldn't think of returning. Going forward at the intersection of life and death, in the way of filial piety and loyalty. We're now on page 590. What I mean by this is that you should go forward at the risk of death in the position in which you can express the utmost value of living and dying. Without passing through this position, you cannot set up the way of filial piety and loyalty. This is the way to march on preparing for death. Even if you fall down, it doesn't matter when you risk your life for the purpose. If you have to die, it's better to die while going straight forward. In the perilous situation of your parents having died and your family going down, you shouldn't make a fuss about a little bleeding in the tip of your finger. You should have the attitude, let it bleed. I have my work to do. When the nation's survival is at risk, you don't have any extra time to worry about your survival, your children's schooling, or your spouse. Because we are in a very difficult time, one which determines whether or not the nation and the world will be demolished. We must make a very sincere effort with one united heart. we should make a very strong determination to be loyal at the risk of our lives. In order to restore the world, we are to love the nation more than the tribe, and the world more than the nation. Therefore, we should be in a hurry for the restoration of the world. It doesn't even matter if you sacrifice your own sons and daughters or family for the sake of the restoration of the world. That's why I want to make you suffer. Otherwise, you cannot save Korea. Is it possible to create a peaceful world without sacrifice? When you sacrifice for the world, history develops. Why do I demand such a strategy? By going through such a process, you can set up complete indemnity conditions. What kind of church is the Unification Church? You should know clearly. You should be able to love the world even at the sacrifice of your husbands. The women who can sacrifice their husbands are world-level women. The parents who can sacrifice their sons and daughters for the sake of the world are world-level parents. If there are sons and daughters who travel the path of death with a burning heart to love the world, they are true sons and daughters of filial piety. Do you understand? You should go this worldwide and universal way. The kingdom of heaven starts from a family. The central course of the Unification Church is to sacrifice families for national restoration. In order to do that, you should gather all the conventional churches together. Father is responsible for the blessed families, and the blessed families are responsible for the conventional churches. If you can accomplish this, then the restoration of the nation will be no problem. To set up the condition for this, Father blessed 430 couples. Therefore, if we should push forward in unity, it will take 3 years for the national restoration. We're now on page 591. There have been many righteous and loyal individuals thus far, but the unit of loyalty and righteousness in the future should be the family. So loyal families should come forth. Without the appearance of loyal families, the loyal tribe cannot come along or come into being. The nation which can win God's official commendation should appear. For that purpose, we have to go forward with a definite determination. Restoration cannot be compromised by the nation. It is to be reinforced by giving one's blood and flesh, and it is to be strengthened by the reorganization of one's kin from the position of denying ourselves. The way of restoration cannot be walked alone. One should set up the condition for one's family to walk along as well. This is love. Family members should grit their teeth and give up the desire to live happily. Father's family never had happy moments. By going through the most difficult road, Father laid the foundation. Your family should go the same course as Father's family. This is the responsibility for all the families. Blessed families nowadays want to take their children under their wings, but it is wrong. They should be able to sacrifice their children. They shouldn't love their children more than their nation. They should be able to sacrifice their children for the sake of establishing the nation of God has sought. Therefore, they should be determined to sacrifice their children to establish God's nation. This is the way for all the Unification Church members to go. To love God is to go along the presidential way. The way of God's will is to build the tribe, nation, and world centering upon the family. Therefore, you should know that you have the responsibility to liberate the spirit world and hell. Those are the tasks resulting from the fall. Therefore, we should clean them up in the same way we clean a garbage can. You should think day and night about how to love your parents more than your husband, and how to love your brothers more than your husband. You should love your nation, world, and God more than your own family. Unless this order of love is established, there will be no way to go. The family you desire should be equal to the family for which God has longed, and the nation you desire should be the nation God has never forgotten even in His dreams. And the world you desire should be the kingdom of heaven, where God and you can dance joyfully, centering upon God's love. And we're now in subtopic number 10. I think we need to read it tomorrow. It's already 5:29. And that will be the way the blessed couples should go. It's a long topic, about 3 pages. We will read it tomorrow. And is there anyone who wants to share about this reading today, entitled The Inevitable Destiny of the Blessed Families? So is there anyone who wants to share about the reading today? Are you all still there?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, on the first paragraph here, you may want to ask why you have to witness, to go to the point of death and to suffer. So it's very clear. It is because we are blessed in the fallen world, not in the place transcending the fallen environment. So that's our great mission. So Father said, what I mean by this is that we should go forward at the risk of death in the position in which we can express our utmost value of living and dying. So without passing this position, you cannot set up the way of filial piety and loyalty. So this is the way to march on preparing for death. Even if you fall down, it doesn't matter when you think or when you risk your life for the purpose. So if you have to die, it's better to die while going straight forward. So, the emphasis is we witness. And of course, when I read also some of the passages here, we have to live. We have to love. God, our brothers more than for the sisters, to love more than their husband, and I think for the brothers too, and also for our spouses. We need to love our parents more than our spouses, and we need to love our nation, world, and God more than our family. So unless this order of love is established, there will be no way to go. And as we read on the last paragraph today, that the family you desire should be equal to the family for which God has longed, and the nation you desire should be the nation of God has never forgotten, even in his dreams. So the world you desire should be the kingdom of heaven, where God and you can dance joyfully, centering upon God's love. So this is all about Chung Il Guk. So there are some things also here that Father mentioned about what is the unification, what kind of church is the unification church. We should know that clearly that you should be able to love the world even at the sacrifice of your husbands. I think this is for our sisters, and the women who can sacrifice their husbands are world level women. The parents who can sacrifice their sons and daughters for the sake of the world are world level parents. So if your sons and daughters who travel the path of death with a burning heart to love the world, they are true sons and daughters of filial piety. So do you understand? So you should go this worldwide and universal way. So as we learn today, Father is responsible for the blessed families. This is on page 590. And we, the blessed families, are responsible for the conventional churches. So if you can accomplish this, then the restoration of the nation will be no problem. He was very optimistic to set up the condition for these Father blessed 430 couples. So this was 1968. So therefore we push forward in unity. It will take 3 years for national restoration. So as we have learned even a few days ago, Father, in our HoonDok also, when he blessed, the 430 couples, he was talking about tribal messiahship, even on that year, 1968. So now we have that mission to restore our tribe. So as we restore our tribes, I think, in a few years, we can not only restore the world, but also reunite North and South Korea. As we learn today, Father asks us to have this family that has a desire that should equal for the family which God has longed, and the nation that we desire should be the nation God has never forgotten. I think he was talking about the nation that he did not forget. His beloved nation of Korea. He was born in the north, and he eventually has set up a foundation in South Korea. But right now they're still technically at war. So to offer God's nation, we need to unite these two sections of that nation, they need to be one. And there's a lot of anguish, a lot of suffering because they were separated in the 1950s, 1958 in the Korean War. So we have to comfort all these people who were separated as bridegroom and bride, as families, brothers and sisters, and extended families. They separate because of the war, because of this battle of God and Satan. So as we learn more about the news, we did saw from the news the First Lady of South Korea before went to Pyongyang, and we also see here in Facebook our own brother Ken Cohen, who is African American, can go in and out of North Korea, and many of our brothers and sisters can go to North Korea without any problem, and Japanese brothers and sisters who take care of a hotel in Pyongyang is also going there and back and forth without any problem. So for we unification members, as long as you have a unification ring with a symbol, you can go in and out of Korea. So I think we need to strive some more and really bring ourselves even there when these two countries, as we term today, will be one country. We will be there to stand with our true mother, our true parents. And that is the vision 2020 that true mother has, giving us this vision. And yesterday we talked about vision also, about Reverend Sona's sermon, that if we catch the vision, we can be as fiery as the followers of Jesus Christ in the Pentecost, and also we as blessed families should be more than those great men and women who have gone in the past, the champions of God, who has been chosen by God. So we can do it if we really strive to, give this blessing, and this as we go to conventional churches. So not only Catholic churches, Protestant churches, and I think we need to go to the Hindu temple, and as we go also even to the Buddhist temples, we go there to the monks and eat their food after they eat the food themselves. We need to strive harder to bring not only dancers here, but also key people even from the Buddhist temple and all other conventional churches, which is really now restless. They don't know where, when and where Jesus Christ will come. And we are the church that knows when, where, and who is the Messiah. So if you watch this playback, please go to our centers, the Family Federation headquarters, or the centers in your city, here in the United States or even in the world. We are here to explain to you when and where the Messiah will come. So anybody else who wants to share about a reading today? There's none. Let's all rise and have unison prayer. Our most beloved Heavenly Parents, we're so thankful for this reading today. It's so clear that we should take care of conventional churches as Father has taken care of us. Bless families. We're so inspired always, and even today, to go out there and give a pre-blessing and the blessing itself to all our nations and to all the people who needed it most. We pray we can calm down these restless people who are thinking about the end of the world, but they don't know it's not the physical world, but the end of the world of sin and evil. And now they cannot really face it until, of course, they know about the Messiah. And even our church, and even ourselves, the people that you raised, our Heavenly Parents, the champions from all our tribes and nations all over the world. We pray that we can fulfill our missions as the greatest people on earth who can live and die for our true parents and for God. We pray that we can always be your voice box, your body, our heavenly, the vessels, our Heavenly Parents, that can lead many people back to your bosom and lead them with healthy and fruitful lives as we bring them to learn about the divine principle. And even these readings that we read, we can share it on email, social media, and as Father has instructed us to communicate with our relatives and be positioning them in the 12 pearly gates. We pray that we can do that with 430 couples and more. We can go in and out of the 12 pearly gates in heaven. And we pray always for our Heavenly Parents. In all our names, in my name, Athanasius Francis C. Catalan, blessed and Hoon. Aju. Uri Yesonem Tom Il Numero Sonem Tom Il Bacio Sotom Il Tongilio ora Ikio Esaninem Tongil Inarachadne Tongilio Sora Tongilio ora. Good morning to you, our true masters, our true teachers, and our true parents of heaven and earth and humankind. Good morning to the true children, the true grandchildren, and all our brothers and sisters. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Have a great and wonderful Monday, the Moon Day, and Manse Manse.